So, hello all, this is Tuesday, July 12, 2022, and this is the Hindu Daily edition. So, as usual, we'll be first identifying the most important news, followed by a detailed analysis of the same. But before that, let me give you answer to yesterday's question, and I have to open it obviously. Let's see, what do we get here? Okay, we need a sketch now. Fine, so we have a sketch now here. So the question was to identify what you have to identify ocean currents of North Indian Ocean. Okay, so this is the most unique ocean where two sets of ocean currents are seen observed. Okay, and I'll make the both of the set. Okay, so this is your Africa. Okay, fine. Here comes your India, and here it goes like this. Fine. So you understand what can be the current. The hot currents will be equatorial current or the North Indian Ocean equatorial current that goes on to be like this. Okay, and it circulates like this. Okay, and from here also one branch that will circulate. So this is during winters. Fine. But what happens in summer? The condition in summer is different due to monsoonal wind. Yes, you are correct. So what will happen? This is the ocean. So there would be this Somali current that will bring up monsoon. It will go like this, and there will be a counter current. You see, counter equatorial current. So this is during monsoon or summer month. Fine. So this is Somali current. Somali current. Okay, you got it. So this is a very important concept. Why this happens? Because from Mascarini is high, there is current, there is this air circulation coming in, and when it crosses the equator, it changes the direction, becomes this Somali current. Okay, you got it. Now question for tomorrow, very easy question. The question is, you have to identify, what should you identify now? Fold mountain system of world. Okay, you have to do this. Fine. Now let's go on to identify and analyze the news. So let's identify. There is no important news here. Nothing on this page. Nothing on this page. Nothing on this page. Nothing on this page. Just know this. We need a system to identify illegal loan app. Okay, just know this. The new normal of political is not required. Not required. The scam fault line is damaging Indian banking. You can give it a read. More steps are needed to prevent fraud. Okay, we'll do this. Not required. Comprehending public health with planned investment in health and education. Just use this line for India. India can become a global leader in disease prevention. Okay, so this you just use it in your answer. That would be enough. Text and context search of dark matter. We have to do it entirely because dark matter is a important concept with respect to UPSC. Okay. Unfair trading practices. Okay, we'll do the gist first because it is related to guideline. We'll do the gist. If required, we'll go inside. Okay. Okay. I don't see something important here. Okay, there is nothing here. Okay, will you just understand this flash floods, sudden cloud formation. Now, flash flood is an important concept. Okay, you have to understand it. Okay, and nothing else from here. Just go and read your basics. Okay. Uh, we'll do this. And this is the sports page. Obviously, we won't have much important news here. So we are done identifying the most important news. Now let's go on to analyze the same. As we remember, there was nothing here on these pages. So let's read the editorial directly then. We are to read editorial only today, and one news is there on that economy page, right? The scam fault line is damaging India's banking. Okay, more steps to prevent fraud are needed, which include tightening the internal and external audit system of bank. So both the system, internal and external audit system of the bank, needs to be tightened. Okay, let's see. Okay, so biggest banking scam has come to forefront in my midst of celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in case Diwan Housing Financial Corporation Limited has hoodwinked consortium of bank driven by Union Bank of India to a tune of 35,000 crore through financial misrepresentation. The case was not isolated. In February also AVG CPR Limited had already taken a loan of 23,000 crore in fake manner. On 1st February 2019, a consortium of banks has held a meeting to take cognizance of serious allegations of loan repayment default against DHFL. Subsequently, a core committee of 7 large banks was formed. KPMG, the global network of professional firms providing audit, tax and advisory services, were roped in as an evaluator to lead a unique survey report of DHFL for a period of 2015 to 2019. The CBI, in its first information in its FIR, has shown that State Bank of India was most badly hit with non-performing asset to a base of almost 9,900 crores, the very sum of DHFL acquired from it. Essentially, Bank of India and Canada has been plundered to a tune of more than 4,000 crore each. Also, more than 3,000 crore each has been supposedly cleaned up by the DHFL from Union Bank and Punjab National Bank. The banking system of any country is the backbone of its economy. Excessive losses to bank affect every person in the country because amounts deposited in bank belong to citizens of the country. The NPA that bank incur are mainly due to bad loans and scams. Okay. Data by Reserve Bank shows that around 34% of a scam in banking industry are on account of inside work due to poor lending practices by the and involvement of junior and mid-level management. So two things are there: poor practices and involvement of junior or mid-level management. The data by RBI shows that one of the fundamental problems in the way of development of banking in India is on account of rising bank scam and the cost consequently forced on the framework. Strangely, in a global banking fraud survey, the issue is not just for India alone; it is worldwide issue. Okay. In FSR, RBI, there is a projection of gross NPA of a bank rising from 6.9% to 8.1% of total asset by September 2022 under the baseline scenario, and to 9.5 under a severe stress scenario. Fraud in banking industry can be grouped under 4 classifications: management, outsider, insider, and outsider jointly. Okay, so 4 kind of frauds are there. All scam, whether interior or outside, are result of operational failures. Research by Deolite has shown that limited asset monitoring after disbursement was foremost reason behind the stressed asset, and insufficient due diligence before disbursement was among the major factors of NPA. Okay, so these were the things. There are news reports every few weeks of some fresh new bank scam that or other which breaking the trust of common man in the banking system. There are many examples of bank scam. Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksky, Vijay Mallya, Andhra Bank fraud, PMC scam, Rotomac pen scam, Videocon scam, Allahabad Bank fraud, Syndicate Bank scam, the Bank of Maharashtra, Kanish Gold Bank, IDBI, RP, Info Services sector. The higher NPA also reduces the net interest margin of the bank besides increasing their operational cost. These banks miss their cost by increasing the convenience fee from the small customer on day-to-day basis. According to RBI data, corporate loan account for nearly 70% of these bad loans, while retail loans, which includes car loans, home loans, personal loans, account only for 4%. A study by Indian Institute of Management has shown that poor bank corporate governance is the cause behind rising bank scam and NPA. Steps that needed. So what we have covered and how to overcome it. Over the time, bad loan lead to higher NPA. So bank have to exercise due diligence and caution while offering fund. The regulation and control of chartered accountant is very important. Okay, so this is the first thing. C is to reduce NPA of bank. Bank should be cautious while lending Indian companies that have taken huge loan abroad. There is also an urgent need to tighten the internal and external audit system of the bank. Fine. So second thing is, first thing is to tighten and regulate CAs. Second thing is external and internal audit of the bank. The fast rotation of employees of a bank loan department is very important. The third thing is fast rotation of employees of the this loan department, similar to the Mansabdari system. Public sector bank should set up an internal rating agency for rigorous evaluation of large projects before sanctioning loans. Okay, internal rating agency. Okay, for rigorous evaluation of large projects. Further, there is a need to implement effective MIS to monitor EWS about bank business projects. The civil score of borrower should be evaluated by bank concerned or RBI officials. This must also include classification and responsibilities of lending and recovery department. Financial fraud can be reduced to a great extent by use of AI. So this is another solution to monitor financial transactions. However, the adoption of digitization beyond a point may have limits, as AI provides quantitative information but does not take into account the qualitative aspects. It will by as the time progresses, it will do that. Okay, while government of India and RBI have several measures to try to resolve this issue of scam in banking industry, the fact is that there is still a long way to go. Rather than having a continuously write off bad loans of large corporate, India has to improve its loan recovery processes and establish an early warning system in post disbursement phases. Bank need to carry out fraud risk assessment every quarter. Only establishment of national NARCL or bad bank is not a real solution. Really, it is correct thing. There is measures that can help us help. These measures can help only after a loan is bad, but process of loan going bad. Okay, so it is saying that reform the loan giving process. Okay, you have to do internal plus external audit, regulate CAs, and then you have to use artificial intelligence. Okay, civil score monitoring. There are many things, so you can make a note of it if you require, but these are very in general points. Okay, we know these things as in when we have been preparing for the exam, we know these things are there. Okay, fine. So nothing on this page. Let's go for the dark matter. In search of dark matter. Okay, what are distance scales? How do they help in providing existence of dark matter? Many physicists strongly believe that entire visible part of the universe only forms 5% of the matter. They believe that rest is made up of dark matter and dark energy. Once this was convincingly demonstrated through various indirect observations and calculation experiments started being the set of funds for this elusive particle. The latest to hit the news is in the field of dark matter is dark matter detector experiment named this one LZ. Lux Zeppelin in South Dakota in US. As of today, it is the most sensitive dark matter detector in the world. To give an idea of the degree of difficulty in measuring the evidence of dark particle, it is said that chamber of LZ detector can contain only 1 gram of dust if it is to detect dark matter particle. This is the extent to which researchers have to go out to rule out unwanted signal coming from other entity. So what is this dark matter and why it is so elusive? All the interactions in the universe are a result of four fundamental forces acting on the particle: strong nuclear, weak nuclear, electromagnetic, and gravitation. Dark matter is made up of particles that do not have a charge, which means they do not interact through electromagnetic interaction. So they are particles that are dark, namely because they do not emit light, which is an electromagnetic phenomenon, and matter because they possess mass like normal matter and hence interact through gravity. Gravitational force, besides not being fully integrated and understood by particle physicists, it is extremely weak. For one thing, a particle that interacts so weakly becomes rather elusive to detect. This is because interaction from other known particles could draw out signal or could drown out the signal of dark matter particles. You understand it? If we cannot see it and have not detected it, why do physicists believe there are indirect evidences for dark matter, and this evidence is reflected at various levels. At the shortest distance scale, consider rotation of galaxy. If you look at the stars all the way from the center of the galaxy to its rim, the way the velocities are observed, star change may be plotted. Okay. In the lab, this same function may be plotted on graph by assuming the visible matter is all that exists. There is a marked difference between the observed plot of star speed and calculated value as you move from inner part of the galaxy towards outer rim. If you can assume there is a certain fraction of matter which exerts gravitational pull on the rest of the stars in galaxy, for it cannot be seen in other way, and recalculate the plot, it fits with the observed value. This means that there is definite amount of dark matter in the galaxy. One may argue that this model that is that it is the model that is at fault, and there are some other ways to reconcile discrepancy between the calculated and observed value of the velocity in rotating galaxy. This is where evidence from other scales come up. Okay, so it is saying that the movement of the star actually it should have say gone 5 kilometers, but it went only 2 kilometers. So the 3 kilometers gap created due to the gravitational pull of dark matter. Okay. The universe can be observed at various levels, at level of electron, nuclei, atom, galaxies, etc. Cosmologists, people who study physics of the universe, typically work in last mentioned three scale, and particle physics physicists study lower and even lower scale. Okay. In this context, second evidence comes from observation of so-called bullet cluster of galaxies. The bullet cluster is formed through the merging of two galaxy clusters. Physicists found their calculation that the way this merger took place could not be fully explained if we believe the visible universe is all that existed. Therefore, there should be something like dark matter as well to estimate how dark matter there should be a universe. Similar argument exists from mapping of universe such as Solar Digital Sky Survey and studies for okay, while fixing the model could help explain one of the fine. What are the candidates for dark matter particle? The neutrino would have been an excellent candidate if it has been more massive. Okay, however, being too light, it does not fit in the bill. Other postulate entities include the supersymmetric partner of Z boson, a particle that mediates the electro-weak interaction. Yet other explanations talk about the hidden secret particle and axions, a boson that a condensate of dark matter. There are many other theories. The search is on to find one of these candidates, for the story is one that spins together the gravity, supersymmetry, hidden world, and is the stuff of which science fiction is made. Okay, so we have to understand one thing. The gist of the article is how we get to know about dark matter. So indirect evidences are there, not direct. Okay, and how it is? It is the calculated versus observed. Okay, the difference is taken up by dark matter presence. Okay, it is just like that centrifugal and centripetal force or the pseudo force that we apply during motion. You see that there is a pseudo force. It does not actually exist, but we consider that it is existing. Similarly, at this point of time, we don't know that dark matter is there or not, but we are assuming that yes, it is there, and assuming its presence gives us more correct or more correct calculations. Yes, it is correct calculation. Okay, so CCP announced 5 key guidelines to prevent unfair trade practices regarding levy of service charges in hotel and restaurant. Service charge is the fee collected to pay for services associated with purchase of private product or service. It is collected by hospitality sector and food and beverage industry as fee for serving customers. If a customer finds that a hotel or restaurant is levying service charge in violation of these guidelines, they may lodge a complaint as NCH by calling 1915 or through the NCH mobile app. The complaint may also be filed through edakhil.nic.in for effective redressal. Okay, this was in news. Fine, so they cannot levy service tax without your consent. Just know this. Okay, let's see. Failing the forest article. There is a sharp binary between human rights and wildlife right based group. The wildlife group argued that implementation of FRA could lead to encroachments and fresh clearance of forest land for human dwelling. The human rights groups have argued that FRA was passed by Parliament and is aimed at correcting the historical injustice to forest dwellers. Okay, the first myth that needs to be busted for wildlife lobby is that when right is recognized of a forest dweller on a piece of land, it does not mean that he or she will cut down all the trees in that area. Recognizing right on forest land is not same as clearing and felling the forest. Yes, this is the correct point. Both groups have been so locked in ideological debate that they have failed to protect the forest. The FRA was meant for forest dwellers, but it could not have been a powerful tool of conservation. Okay, it is an India article. Give it a read, you will understand. If you don't understand, give me a comment. I'll try to explain you. Okay, let's see the next news. Okay, one news was there on that economy page, na? Here we go. RBI set up system to settle international trade in rupee, move to aid trade with nation under sanctions. EPC. Okay, the RBI has put a place in a mechanism to facilitate international trade in rupee with immediate effect. Banks acting as authorized dealers for such transactions would have to take prior approval from the regulator in order to facilitate this. In order to promote growth of global trade with emphasis on export from India and to support the increasing interest of global trading community in INR, it has been decided to put in place an additional arrangement for invoicing, payment, settlement of export import in INR. Okay, the RBI's move would facilitate trade with countries under sanctions like Iran and Russia. As a result of trade facilitation mechanism, we see payment issue with Russia easing. The move would also reduce the risk of forest fluctuation, especially looking at euro rupee parity. We see this as a first step towards 100% convertibility of rupee. Okay, so you know that we have two types of account: current account or capital account. This is 100% convertible and this is partially convertible. Okay, so they are talking about this thing. Fine. Trade under the facility may be denominated and invoiced in rupee, and exchange rate between the currencies of two partner countries may be market determined. Okay, to strengthen rupee amid ongoing rupee weakness, RBI announced step which appears to be aimed at reducing demand for foreign exchange by promoting rupee settlement of trade flow. Okay, fine. So you understand this? This is an easy article, okay? Just that rupee mechanism is being created so that payment and trade becomes easier, and since the demand of rupee in international market will increase, this will lead to appreciation of the rupee. Fine, it will arrest the depreciation. Okay, so with this we come to end of today's newspaper analysis. I hope you like it. If you like it, consider subscribing the channel, okay, liking our content, commenting, and sharing with all needy person. Fine. So with this, I'm taking a leave from you. Goodbye all. Good luck. Study hard and Jai Hind.
So friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also, keep studying hard, keep following your dreams and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.